For crying out loud, my nephew is not special. He's an overgrown child. 36 female. My brother, 53 male, Mike, and his wife is 52, Chloe, believe that the world should revolve around their son, Logan, and that anyone who thinks differently is wrong and doesn't realize how, quote, special Logan is. Logan, Mike, and Chloe tell people that Logan does, quote, freelance for a living, which is code for Logan being unemployed, playing video games all day with Cheeto dust, and generally living like a teenage schoolboy. Mike and Chloe handle all of Logan's adult responsibilities. They send him money every month so Logan can pay rent and, quote, have fun. Chloe will cook most of Logan's meals and drop them off at his house. She'll do and drop off all his laundry. Mike and Chloe tried getting me to fork over money for a Vegas vacation because I'd just taken a trip to Fort Lauderdale and, quote, it's not fair that Logan doesn't get to go on a vacation as well. I told them heck no, because Logan's a 30-year-old man, and I'm not going to pay for his vacation. Mike and Chloe told me how selfish and awful I was towards my own nephew. Mike and Chloe also expect other family members to cater to Logan this way, and react the same way if someone else isn't revolving their life around Logan. Naturally, our relationship is very strained. We keep our interactions very superficial, and we don't see each other unless we're all at a family event. A few days ago, we were at a baby shower for Mike and I's cousin. Mike and Chloe came up to me just to criticize me over the fact that I attended Alexia's, who's Logan's ex-fiancée, hooding ceremony. Some background information: Alexia was given a list of marriage demands from Mike and Chloe. They expected Alexia to provide 3 square meals a day, do all the chores while still working full-time. Logan had told Alexia that he was completely supporting himself through his, quote, freelance work. Alexia didn't know until then that Mike and Chloe were sending him money every month and handling all his responsibilities. Logan always insisted on going to her house. Alexia noped out of that relationship, and Alexia and I are still good friends. I told Mike and Chloe that I'm an adult. I'm allowed to be friends with whomever I want. They started to raise their voice and said I'm disrespecting them by speaking with Alexia after she, quote, abandoned Logan. And, quote, can't see how great he really is. I told them that for crying out loud, Logan isn't special. He's an overgrown child. They may have deluded themselves, but stop being mad that nobody else is enabling their little fantasy. Family members are divided on what I said. Some are agreeing with what I said because they're tired of Mike and Chloe's demands, that everyone's life must revolve around Logan like the sun. And it had to be said, to be honest. But others are saying that I was supposed to be a nice little family event. If I didn't like it, I could have just said sorry instead of causing so much drama. So my question to you guys is, am I the a-hole for this situation? Alright, so this was an interesting story. Here's one of the comments. It's saying, this is probably how you could have answered the question about the vacation. I don't understand why Logan would need my money for his vacation. He's such a great, hardworking person. I'm sure he makes multiple times what I do with his freelance work. So, he shouldn't have a problem paying for a vacation far better than what I was able to afford, right? So guys, let me know if you were in OP's position, what would you say? What would you do about this overgrown child? And we'll look at story number 2. Am I the a-hole for bringing up my brother's premature birth at a Christmas dinner to get my parents to shut up? I'm a nurse practitioner, and I'm the primary care provider for a lot of the low-risk maternity cases at the practice where I work. I also work in hand with doctors and midwives to create a healthy maternity, birth, and postpartum situations. My fiancée is completing her residency. Well, we live together and have for a few years now. We aren't in any hurry to get married. We originally had plans to do so a couple years prior, but then we got really busy for 2 years with business. It's driving my very religious parents absolutely crazy that their youngest son is living in sin. I don't really care. I'm an adult. I do what I want. We're getting married in June. Who cares? So, we're visiting my parents for Christmas. The way it comes together this year, everyone is at my parents' house. So, that's my folks, my 3 siblings, myself, fiance, and 7 grandchildren. So, 17 people. At dinner, Mom starts going on about how she's so glad that we're finally getting married, and she won't be embarrassed at church anymore. My dad says how proud he is of his 3 older kids who all either waited to get married before moving in together or got married right after moving in together. My fiancé was getting a little bit embarrassed, and I was not getting embarrassed. I was getting mad over this stupid argument we've had so many times, and at a family dinner. Oh, that's the straw that broke the camel's back. I've asked them repeatedly to just accept that they cannot control how I live my life. I refuse to stay with them when I visit, even if I come alone. Hotels are just easier. So I started talking about a premature baby. I've been reading about it. It was almost 3 months premature and weighed 1.6 pounds. It was super strong and healthy for being born so little, and the NICU had hopes for the baby doing well. My mom and dad both got deer in headlights looks in their face. Yeah, too bad you brought this on yourself. Shouldn't have ducked around with my fiancé's feelings. So I asked about my oldest brother. He was born almost 4 months premature. Is there a chance that we could check out the family album, where we keep all the records of the family birth and stuff? I already know my brother was over 9 pounds and almost 23 inches long when he was born. My grandmother told me all about it the first time my parents tried to shame me. The subject, well, it gets changed rather fast. After supper, my parents told me that I should not try to embarrass them with private stuff that is not my concern. I told them if I've heard anything about my living arrangements ever again for the rest of my life, I would make sure to keep bringing up the fact that my mom was in her 2nd trimester when they got married. Oh yeah. Got her. My parents are mad at me for telling them how to behave in their own home, but my fiancé's happy that they seem to be off the subject for good. But I do have a question that leaves me with this. Am I the a-hole for bringing up such a sensitive topic, kind of like a secret to them, in the middle of a family dinner? So this is one of the top comments, and OP replies saying, "Thank you so much. Not the a-hole, that was beautifully handled. You did not call them out, you did not embarrass them, but you stood your ground. I did laugh out loud when you said you were going to get your blackmail information. Grandma had that in her pocket for a long time, I'm guessing. Congratulations on your upcoming wedding. Merry holidays, and I hope you have a great new year." That's when OP replies, "Thank you, Merry holidays as well." Guys, let me know your thoughts on that story. Drop it down below. If you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting on? Here on Mr. Reddito, we have daily stories, so go ahead, check out the other ones, and you can find my other channels in the description. Here's the final story of the day. Should I, 23 female, end on good terms with my boyfriend, who's a no-good, dirty cheater? My ex and I have been dating for a year, and although we went through a deployment at some point, our relationship remained very strong. We'd spoken about kids and marriage, and my ex was very honest in the beginning about how his goal in this relationship was to get married, which, to be honest, I was kind of skeptical. Like any relationship, we had our ups and downs, but nonetheless, we've managed to power through. We have great communication, in my opinion, and spent every moment we could together. We were over the moon when he came back in October, and things were great. Although, it felt funny getting to know each other again. Last week, while he slept, I was bored, decided to log onto the computer to play some Sims. I woke him up in the pen and he fell back asleep. The computer booted up and automatically opened up Discord. I skimmed through the names, noticed one that looked like a female profile. And I noticed she messaged him 3 times in December and twice in November. It was nothing crazy, just a hey. I mean, he didn't reply to any of the November and December text, but my heart was racing, and I read a bit of the few texts, one in particular, about how he was, quote, only even on Discord for her. But the thing that broke me was that he sent her inappropriate photos. At the end of October, well, it was a torso picture and a little bit something else and a selfie. My heart sank and I just jerked awake, which caused him to awaken. I announced I was leaving, grabbed my things, and walked over to the computer trying to explain. I remained calm as he was bumbling his words together, and I collected my things while he absolutely freaked out, trying to explain, but I kept shutting him down. Eventually, we ended up at my car so he could take his things out, and he asked if he'll ever see me again. I quickly responded that I would be blocking him on every social media and telephone device I've ever owned. He took out his things and said, "I won't contact you again, but I hope when you think about us, you think about all the good." I blocked him as I pulled out the parking lot. I was obviously devastated by this and completely blindsided. I'm angry and confused, and while I realized he will probably never meet this girl in real life, and probably never intended to meet her, he still cheated, emotionally or whatever you want to call it. I love this man a lot, and planned on our future was extremely impactful to me, which is what's brought me here. I don't think I want to go back together ever again. However, I feel like reaching out so we can at least hash it out and hopefully end on better terms. He always said he wanted to be friends if anything ever happened to the relationship side. I spent the last year and 4 months getting to know this guy, meeting our families, planning our futures, and it's just so hard for me to shake this feeling of wanting to reach out, just to put this chapter behind me. I've spent the last 4 days, no contact, but I need advice. Is it worth it to end on good terms with my ex? "You did the right thing," says one comment. "I think you handled it perfectly with plenty of class. I think your heart's still fragile. I mean, he betrayed you. I think it's a bad idea to meet him after such a short period of time. Good luck, OP." That's when OP listens to that comment and replies with this: "Thank you. I do agree. I'm definitely a little fragile right now. Honestly, I wasn't sure about meeting in person either, because although I held myself together the first time, I'm not sure how I would the second time after seeing him." Guys, this is a unique story. Let me know what you think about this. There was no physical cheating involved. However, OP said it doesn't matter. It's still cheating. Drop your comments down below. Let's talk about it. That's all the content for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, smash that like button, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.